It does. Like I was hoping that one of the benefits for all of the chaos and partisan hand wringing about the Trump administration, that more progressives would learn the lesson of federalism and limiting executive power and not giving those surveillance tools to the likes of Donald Trump, who was their vision of evil incarnate. But it strikes me that the lesson is, well, we just have to win at any cost so that our guy controls those tools, which is naive at best.
Yeah, I was similarly disappointed. The only thing I can say is that moral relativism seems to have been abandoned by the left. So they're no longer relativists. They did agree there is evil, and they called it all Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So in a way, I guess that was progress to at least recognize there are moral absolutes. But it was very disappointing. And the other thing is, you look at this era of COVID, I thought there would be people on the right and left who said, we can't just have one authoritarian per state who decides everything about all of civil society. And yes, in an emergency, governors in particular have extra powers. Like right now in Louisiana, the governor's dealing with a hurricane. Lots of extra powers. You don't want to necessarily convene the legislature to deal with hurricane evacuation, as an example. But if this was going on a year and a half later, you would say, maybe we should convene the legislature. And I thought by summer, month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe 4, people would have had it. They would have said, no, on both sides of the aisle, we need to have a voice. Our voice comes from the legislature, not just a single governor. And it was amazing to see how so many people lined up behind this authoritarianism. I think it's a real threat to the future of our country.
Yeah, it's a scary dynamic, and we've talked a lot about lockdowns and all of these authoritarian mandates as well. The blank check that people give to governors and Fauci and President Biden, as long as it's under the guise of keeping us safe, that's such a dangerous path.
It's always been a dangerous trade-off. Ben Franklin summed it up well, but it does seem to be a kind of human vulnerability. A lot of people really want safety over freedom, and I think the real challenge for us is to convince people that we need more freedom and less government.
Yeah, I'm heartbroken that it appears like the citizens in France and the UK are taking to the streets, and I just don't see that kind of thing going on here. But I always have faith that we'll get our act together, because there is something about Americans that it's built into our system that we want to defend liberty.
Yeah, and I think it's been uniquely hard in America. I mean, I was speaking to a member of parliament in the UK, and things that we take for granted as given in America just aren't so around the world. Like masking kids somehow was accepted in the United States. They didn't ever go down that path in a uniform way around the world. The other thing is like natural immunity, the idea that you had a virus and recovered from it, so your immune system produces a natural response to it, is accepted around most of the world. And studies are showing increasingly, I think over 15 at this point, that yes, natural immunity not only protects you, but it actually protects you better than the current vaccines. Why in the face of that?
Wasn't that the science before 18 months ago?
It was.
Yeah.
It was the science. And if you find something printed on paper, you might still be able to prove it. But if you find it digitally, it may have already been altered.
Yeah, I noticed that.